Welcome to, sorry, I was waiting for something else. Okay, welcome to Meet Your Mayor, Blaine Higgin edition. Blaine, thank you for joining for this little chat. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. So
thank you so much for having me, Alan.
So let me tell you where I came to. I think you'll find this interesting.
Okay.
I was at the System Navigator training, and I don't know if you're familiar with this, but there's this program, the whole CWSS, which of course you're familiar with, the City Wellness and Safety Security. So with that, they've added this integrated care access model. So so to basically streamline it so that people that need help get the help they need, right?
Right.
And to facilitate that, they have this System Navigator training. So the System Navigator training is where there's 3 levels to it, but the base level, the level that I'm going to achieve, is basically where I've been taught on the resources that are available in our community. And so that if I meet somebody and I have a conversation with them and they're having whatever, maybe they're experiencing violence in their life, and I know people, I know agencies and people that I can contact, and then I can say, hey, listen, you know, Sarah, I think you're experiencing some violence in your life. I want to help you be safe if you want my help. And if you do, like, I have some resources that I know I can contact to connect you with. Would you like my help?
That's awesome, Alan. That's fantastic.
It's going to be
so involved all the time, right? You're always throwing your name in the hat for something or other. I'm just waiting. You got till the 20th to put your name in for council or mayor. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's not going to happen. But thank you for that, Blade. So, anyways, I just wanted to share with you. You know, you and I have talked about community before, about working together and that kind of thing. And here is a system that when it's just starting now, but when it's happening, there's going to be 1,000 Lethbridgians, which is the right term?
You know, I've heard Lethbridgians. I've heard them all, right?
All right. Okay, whichever. People, caring people in Lethbridge, there's going to be 1,000 of them who are going to be system navigators, so that when they're in their network of people, their 100 people that they know, they identify somebody that might be having a challenge and they extend an offer to help, knowing that they've got some resources to share.
And working together.
Yes.
Right? Sharing knowledge. Sharing, that's fantastic.
Yes, I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be amazing. Peter Imhoff is who's heading it up. I don't know if you know Peter.
You bet I do.
Wow, he's a super community oriented, strategic thinker. He's a beautiful human being. So yeah. So Blaine, now for the tough question. You ready for this interview? Have you been preparing? Man, this is going to be like, who are the hard hitting journalists who always ask the tough questions? No, this is going to be different. Blaine, if you are running for mayor, and doing that job as mayor, huge job, how much time do you think it's going to take you per week? Like, how much time investment do you think is going to be for you to be mayor?
Well, gosh, let me tell you something, Alan. It's been they tell us it's about 20 hours every 2 weeks or so for council. Well, I'll tell you, it's 50, 60 a week. Now, if you want to do the job, which I believe is with the research and everything, it does take a lot of time. So, Mayor, if you're not putting in 60, I'd be surprised. And I know that's might be concerning to some people, but that's something that I'm ready for. I'm ready. I'm all in.
Got it. So, big investment of your time and talents. That's a huge investment. And there's all kinds of people are going to say, oh, that Blaine Higgin, he screwed this up, and my water in my tap isn't working right. That's Blaine Higgins' fault. So all of those things. Why it is so important about Lethbridge, or people in Lethbridge, why you're willing to put yourself out there, you know, invest that time and energy and face the criticism that you will get as mayor. That's how it works, right?
Oh my gosh, Alan, you know what? It's been something that and thank you for that question. It's a great question. And you know what? I get that quite often, if not almost all the time. And the biggest part about why I wanted to become mayor, or why I'm looking to become mayor, is just the service side of things. I love to serve this community. I know that some people say, gosh, that sounds so cheesy, but I truly do. I love this community. I've sat on numerous different boards and stuff over the years. If it's everything from my daughter's figure skating boards to soccer, to volleyball, to so many different groups, you know, from parent council. My daughter was in the arts and sitting on different groups there. So I love to serve. And so I've had this opportunity to serve as council for the last 8 years. So I've always been one that I thought, well, I may not want to wear out my welcome. And I always feel that you get into one term, you kind of figure out what's going on, because it's not really an easy drop in.
Huge learning curve, right? When you join council, it's huge. Yeah,
it's huge, because coming from the small business world, if I want to do something, I act on it really quickly. Unfortunately, and I know the community knows this because I hear about it quite regularly. Well, you're working on this. Why is it taking so many months? There's so many levels of bureaucracy to go through it. It's such a struggle sometimes to get a final approval or come to council. And so it's something that I need to really learn, because I like to act on things quickly. And so it does move kind of like pushing a wet noodle at times, a lot slower than I'd like. But hope we can spear that, get that a little bit quicker. But coming from the small business world, I thought that was a great voice on council, as it would be with mayor. There's a lot of people wanting to invest in our community, so and having the service experience is important, especially now, Alan, coming out of a pandemic. It's a different beast, this pandemic, and it's something that we've all been affected in one way or another. Now, some have been, I don't want to say grateful for the pandemic, but have flourished in some of the different business, some of these big box stores, etc. This is what's worked for them.
Can I make a confession? This
Absolutely.
has been the best time of my life. Like, I've learned so much, I've grown so much, I've just reconfigured my whole life. And I realize it's been terrible for other people, but for me, it's been fantastic. And now I'm even more grateful for for the privilege I have, and how can I serve, how can I help in our community? So sorry to I just wanted to interject that's
exactly right. And we've kind of turned to a virtual world in some ways. Now, there's positives and negatives. We kind of pivoted this morning, Alan. We were going to meet together, and in light of some of the different restrictions, we thought, what's the best way? Maybe we'll do a Zoom call. So it's nice that we're able to pivot that way, right? And so we can still stay connected. Now, I'm a huggy person, a handshake person. It's tough for me sometimes to be looking at a screen all the time, but at least it's another option we have to conduct our work. And as you said, you can be so involved in many different things throughout this pandemic, and getting involved with different service agencies, etc. So thank you for doing that in our community, because it's important. I welcome anybody to come and get involved as well.
Well, that Navigator training, again, there was 30 people in it, right? And they're all just these, caring people in our community who want to make a difference and want to have the knowledge to be able to offer assistance. So I'm
Excellent.
honored to be associated with those beautiful people that want to do that work. So that's great.
Fantastic.
Next tough question, Blaine.
Okay.
Let's say you are successful as being mayor of Lethbridge. And with that, not only do you get the key to the city, you have a magic wand and one wish. What is that wish?
The magic wand wish. Well, it's one. We're throwing COVID over, talking about all these different things, Alan. What's one wish? I probably, in light of my platform, I would have to say probably would be to solve our root causes of crime and addiction.
Root causes of crime and addiction. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. There's safety issues that are generally related to the individual suffering from a variety of these different situations that they're in, be it drugs, mental health issues, antisocial behaviors, and so forth, right? And so if I could magically resolve those issues and remove the causes of the root causes of the crime, I think it dramatically would affect the lives of not just those individuals, as we've talked before, but more with the entire community as well. So that magic wand, maybe to get the root of crime and our drug addiction issue that is plaguing our community.
Wow. Okay. That's a good choice. That's a good choice. Get right to the root of stuff, right? Which I think, more succinctly, well, you see if you agree with me. Do you think the root of that is violence? That's what I think it is violence.
And it's the way we talk to one another. It's a way that, I mean, look, lately, this morning I received a few emails, and it's all, oh gosh, I can't believe we're doing these lockdowns again. People are just, there's so much frustration. And, we need to rely on experts through this, right? And I'm sure you realize that I may not always support what is going on out there, but we need to listen to those that have treaded these waters. And you know what, with this particular pandemic, not many people have treaded the water, so we're learning on a day-to-day basis. But sorry to interrupt you. I had you inject with that.
No. It's a valid point. Like, I mean, it's like if you know, you're talking about root causes, and the root causes a lot of times are, you know, in my experience, is one violent act. A man beats a woman. A kid sees the woman getting beat. All right. So now you have the violence for the woman, you have the violence for the child. Both of them are now, they believe that somehow they were responsible for that they're not enough. Right. And then you have a whole cycle of, I'm not enough. I'm a piece of shit. That's what people are telling me. You know, they beat me because I'm not enough, or I'm not.
How do they deal with that?
Right.
How do they deal with that? Right. Is it the drugs? And that's what got them in? We don't know why people get addicted, right? And you're speaking exactly to that, Alan. We don't know, because maybe we never have witnessed any of that. And so that's something that is something to, you know, really think about.
Gabor Mate says 100% of people who have substance abuse disorders, addiction problems, have trauma, have experienced trauma that's been unresolved. The 100%, right. not a lot of them. 100% is what Gabor Mate says, and he's brilliant.
Wow. Hey, that's 100%.
100%. Yes. So I'm with you 100%. Where, you know, that's where we got to get to, is the root causes, right? And you had mentioned a really important word, I think, and that's safety, right? Safety on an individual level means health, right? Safety, you can be healthy if you are safe, right? If you are unsafe, being healthy is a real challenge, right? And safety in our community makes it for a way more civil society, right? That we're more pleasant, engaging, helpful, considerate, caring, you know, want to make a difference in people.
And you know something too, Alan, sorry, just to pump in there for a second.
Yeah.
You talk about when you're to try to be a happy person in society, it's contagious. When people see that. And that's why lately, and I know I followed the mask mandates, etc. But have you noticed that with a mask, you don't know if someone's smiling behind there? And I'll tell you something, seeing that smile, and there's evidence out there that proves that it's contagious. People are happy when they see someone that is happy, and you know, we just need to spread, and it sounds so cheesy, I know, but we need to spread love, spread joy, stop with the rhetoric that's out there, and just know that together we can make things stronger and better in our community, right?
Blaine, if we were in the same room, I'd give you a big hug right now. I'm with you 100%, brother.
Thanks.
Okay, so last question, Blaine.
All right.
You know, you believe yourself to be the best choice for mayor, of course, right? You believe yourself to be the best choice. Right. Let's say the polls don't go that way. Who would be your second best choice for mayor?
Well, I already asked you, and it sounds like you said no, right?
Right, I'm out. Yeah, I'm not an option. So.
All right. Well, you know what? This is something that I would definitely, it's the community. The community have spoken, you know, and I'll sit there on the 18th, the night of the 18th, and whatever way this goes, I don't say if I'm elected, I say when I'm elected, because I like to be positive that way. But again, that's a really good question. And hopefully it's a candidate that is fiscally responsible, yet socially compassionate. So, and a candidate that's humble and listens to what the people want in this community. It's not the council that's making the decision. They are putting up the hands, but it comes from the constituents. So often we need to take the time to listen to the citizens that deal with these issues and are being affected in the community head on. And so that's why I found out, you know, going out knocking doors, it's amazing what you hear. I'll tell you what, Alan, I'm amazed at some of the different comments and concerns and suggestions that come at the doors. And so I guess that person in a less words than more Reader's Digest version is fiscally responsible, socially compassionate, putting the needs of the community first before the wants. And we're coming through a pandemic, and right now it's my belief that we have spent a lot of money on wants and not needs. And you know, that's to me, it's a struggle a lot of times on council, to be very honest, because of that. We're coming through a pandemic. Let's deal with mental health issues. Let's deal with our needs, and let alone just most of the wants. Yeah,
I'm with you 100%. Sounds great, Blaine. And I can say, you know, from my experiences, my encounters with you in terms of your time on council, I always saw you as somebody who was very collaborative in approach, somebody who says, you know, A lot of times politicians have a bad reputation because whatever the opposing politician says is, oh, that guy's an idiot and he blah, blah, blah. And by the way, I think he's gay or whatever, that kind of stuff, right?
Right.
Just like, so it's not even just, it's personal attacks. Whereas what we have to do is work together and make this happen. And I've seen you be very collaborative, cooperative, like let's find a solution together. So I admire that in you, Blaine Hagan, and I wish you good success at the polls.
Well, thank you. And you know what, to add to that, Alan, I couldn't agree more when it comes to different mindsets on council. We're not all going to be the same. We're elected by different constituents, right? And so the biggest part is to everybody bring something to the table. So you know what, I've battled, and you know what, and I'm embarrassed at times at some of the different battles that we've had on council, because we're pretty passionate about what we believe, and we're bringing those forward from our community representation, right? And so, of course, everybody brings something positive to council. And every one of my colleagues, I've learned from all of them. And my dad always told me something. So you know what? You don't have to be the smartest person, but you surround yourself with smarter people. And that's, I totally believe that everything that I've learned on council comes from my colleagues. Some that I may not get along always the best with, but you know what? Everybody brings something to the table, and I thank them for that, as well as anybody that gives me suggestions.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, as you've identified, these differing viewpoints, bringing them together, create the best solutions, right? And that's kind of the argument or the rationale why inclusion and diversity is so important, right? Including people that look different, see the world, have a different worldview, and then incorporating their best practices with our best practices, we can do amazing things.
Absolutely, Alan. And you're leading part of this. Like, come on, I'm just still telling you, you got till the 20th to put your name forward, right?
You're funny, Blade. You're funny.
Thanks, Alan. All right. Always a pleasure, hey, my friend.
It is always a pleasure. Yes. And now, Blaine, any parting words? Or I've asked you all my tough interview questions. You passed. You did fine. So So any other parting words you have before we wrap this up?
I just want to let people know out there that a lot of people said, Blaine, your slogan is listening to Lethbridge. It's true. It's truly, it's everything that I've said, everything that I believe. I listen to Lethbridge. I'm taking your comments forward, and real time from the doors. We're compiling all this data, and it's something that I'm just looking extremely forward to being your mayor and being able to serve the community for years to come. So again, thank you, Alan. I appreciate the time.
I thank you, Mr. Mayor. Keep yourself well.
Thank you, sir. Take care.